Down, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This is taken at his 4. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
First down 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Eddie Goldman with a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Cousins. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Cousins. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Throwing is Cousins. And his throw here's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Buster Screen.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Everson Griffin. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Hey, right on cue, they set up the screen and complete it. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Well, Charles, you said just a bit ago their aggression might get to him, set up the screen. It could work, and it did.
It certainly did, and you have to give the offense coordinator a ton of credit for being able to see it, anticipate it, and get right to the call.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From midfield now, here's Trubisky. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
Trubisky's throw into the hands of Burton. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And Robinson with a big catch. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 14 yards into Chicago, first down. Trubisky will come up here 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Tariq Cohen, his first touchdown on the year. As the Bears push further out in front. The point after is good. And that makes the score 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On the carry, it's Cook. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. And Diggs has it. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Now Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Play action now. Cousins escaping the pressure right. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
What's my name? What's my name? Okay. Set up. 180. Mike 5-4. Red, up.
Play action. It's Trubisky. Buying time to his left. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Another try after the first down sack. Trubisky. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Hey, Haywood. 54, right there. 54, Mike. Hey, 18.
Now it's Trubisky. They've got his man complete. And all the way down to the 40-yard line. Trubisky hitting Robinson for a big one. 46 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
I'm coming up. Alert. Alert.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And this ball is going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. They start the drive with Cook. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Almost unstoppable on the ground there, as that one is good for 39. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. They run. Cook. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Throwing on 2nd down. Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. And this is Cook with the grab. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. 7 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing here, Trubisky. He's got Burton here. And all the way down to the 40-yard line. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward, and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two. On 2nd and 11 now, Trubisky. This one into the hands of Burton. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 25-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Trubisky now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now Trubisky. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. To throw on 2nd and 10. Trubisky, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
18. Hey, Zoo.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Mitchell Trubisky as the Bears push further out in front. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now.
Makes the score Bears 28, Vikings nothing.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This is taken at his 4. Oh, look at the juke. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because...
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
This one taken just inside the 10. And an alley to run. Cordero Patterson. He's at the 30. 10. And the Chicago Bears are in the end zone. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line.
Well, fit me for a neck brace, partner. One kickoff return in one direction for a touchdown, and the other one, they almost broke going back the other way.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 43. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. The 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 31 yards there and a 1st down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Here's Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
The Vikings on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 4. Cousins gives way to Cook. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
Cousins to throw for it on 4th. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Roquan Smith. And the Bears will get the football back. The D brought the house, they called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, and we'll find out later on, was that called before the play, or did they audible into it? Because defenses change plays as well as offenses. Sometimes they get the set they want, they go right to the blitz, and in this case, they nailed it, got right to the quarterback, no chance on that 4th down.
16 yards is the pickup there, and a 1st down for Chicago. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 14 yards into Chicago, 1st down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 14 yards and a Chicago first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Trubisky gives to Cohen. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Even though positive yardage was gained on that play, I think the defense has to be happy. Obviously, they were prepared for some trick plays coming into the game, and they look very aware that those could happen on any given down.
And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright. And this score will stay right where it is. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Now Cook. Eddie Jackson with a tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. And a pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side.